Welcome back, and hello again, rivals. This is Xonia, and you're in the zone. Today, we're going to be talking about potentially one of my favorite cards in the entire game, Aaron. Let's take a look at Aaron's artwork, his clan comparisons, ability, cost, counters, clan 2-hit KOs, half decks and splash, game modes, and our final rating. First, let's check out the artwork on all 4 of his levels. In reality, Beluga, his pet armored polar bear, is the real star here. Both his level 4 and 5 artwork are absolutely fantastic, and the 2 and 3 star artwork drop in some backstory and personality. I love it when the artwork tells a story, so Aaron definitely scores points on that. Next, let's take a look at the clan comparisons. Frozen has plenty of other 5-star cards, so let's see how they compare by taking a look at Aaron's clan competition. First, let's take a look at Aaron versus Aya. Aya is a wonderful card, and is also very underestimated. Still, generally not as good as Aaron, her maxes are both lower, and she's less effective on R1. She probably won't force as many pills on a bluff either. She does win in very high comp battles, though. Next, let's take a look at Brock. In general, I don't want my 5-star to have a defeat ability. I want to win with my 5-star. The only time I want defeat on my 5-star is in T2, so Brock's perhaps a bit more handy in the T2 format than Aaron. Again, his base power is lower, his damage is equal, and is only more effective on 1 if you're using him to make a pill gap and trying to lose, which could turn out to only be a gap of 1 since his 1 pill attack value is only an unsupported 7. Next, let's take a look at Eleanor. In all fairness, this is, hands down, one of the best one-hit KO cards in the game. The problem? 90% of players use her to KO the instant she gets her bonus, and the setup for it can be seen from a mile away. And Eleanor has a greater fear factor going for her, but her power is much lower. SOB can also completely nullify her. Additionally, Eleanor will be better in most one-pill battles, on Revenge, and in round 3 and 4, though that's kinda specific. Eleanor is a glass cannon, and therefore not as terrifyingly stable as Aaron. Next, let's take a look at Kalindra CR. Well, obviously, Kalindra CR is going to be better. She's the leader, and she has an amazing ability. There's very little anyone can say to combat the potential 10-16 beast of a leader, aside from the fact that she's totally not ELO legal, and SOA makes her worse than Aaron. So I suppose that's still +1 for Aaron on stability. Aaron also has better round-winning power on confidence rounds. But, let's be honest, who throws Kalindra CR on a confidence round? Next is Rad. Now, I'll admit it, initially I didn't think Rad was all that great. But after getting absolutely trounced by him several times, my mind has definitely changed. Boasting the same damage and slightly less potential power, the differences between Aaron and Rad can be seen in the following charts. As far as base attack goes, Aaron pulls off slightly higher numbers. But with how SOB works, it can be difficult to understand how this plays out against attack and power manipulation clan bonuses. So notice that while Rad's SOB cancels the opponent's attack manipulation, Aaron on confidence rounds also gains his own attack manipulation, which is often equal to or tied with the opponent's bonus. This means that Aaron will almost always be better on confidence rounds against attack manipulation clans. Against power manipulation, Rad will gain 1 on Aaron each round, since Aaron is 1 power higher and the power bonus cancel is 2. So don't forget though, Aaron still has his +10 for Rad to get over before he's technically better. This is why Aaron is almost always superior in confidence rounds to Rad. However, in Revenge rounds, Aaron only gains 1 on Rad each round, so it takes X+1 rounds to be better against attack manipulation clans, where X is the amount of manipulation from the clan's bonus. Aaron is never better against power manipulation because Rad will always gain 1. So, it boils down to this. Rad is better against power and attack manipulation clans on Revenge rounds, and Aaron is better at pretty much all other times. So to me, this makes Aaron slightly better. The following chart shows why Aaron is the slight victor. And as a quick note, if you're planning to use a leader as well, then Rad will benefit more from Amber, since she has a max of 10. With Amber, Rad will always be equal to Aaron against uppers, and better against ±12 attack clans on confidence rounds. He will always be better against all attack manipulation clans during Revenge rounds, and tied with Aaron against all other clans. This makes Rad more advantageous to use in conjunction with Amber. Additionally, Rad will also have a slight advantage against Raptors if you're using Hugo. Finally, let's take a look at Thorpa. Thorpa is a wonderful card for stomping on your opponent and then forcing them to lose some pills afterwards too. Having equal power and slightly less damage, Thorpa's a bit safer to use because of that 2-pill fudge factor that you get. Call it perfectly, and he'll come out better overall than Aaron. The amount is basically equal on confidence rounds at best, and 1 to 2 pills at best, or better off, on revenge rounds. Again, we see Aaron dominating on confidence rounds, and Thorpa having a little more wiggle room for safety on revenge rounds. Against SOA though, Thorpa obviously loses all of his advantage. Also, that 1 damage difference may not seem like much, but I think it is. Aaron's 1 extra damage allows KOs with many more of the 2-star cards in his clan, as well as KOs with several 3-stars without the revenge bonus. So overall, I still personally say that Aaron just slightly edges out Thorpa. This leaves us with Aaron being, for me, the strongest Frozen 5-star outside of Kalindra CR. Additionally, he's the confidence round king for this clan, which is desperately needed for Frozen's 5-star card. This clan's real weaknesses are that round 1 is always a bad round, and that they are generally much weaker on confidence rounds. Aaron, however, comes in and says, "Yeah right, rivals, I'll trounce you on any round." And even on R1, Aaron is not the kind of card that you want to see coming at you. So let's take a look at Aaron's ability. People often look at Aaron and think, oh, he only gets his ability or bonus, so he's definitely not as good as a card that gets both. The problem with that thinking is that other cards often start with much lower base stats because they get both. Aaron's got amazing base stats and the ability to pick and choose which is best for any situation. Aaron is an unpredictable 5-star, because using him on any round after R1 is a possibility, and his ability and bonus both make him quite the obstacle to overcome. Aaron is like a transformer with 2 different forms, being like uppers on confidence rounds, and being like Uluwatu on revenge rounds. This means that Aaron can actually capitalize on his weakness. Going against Geist, then wait for his bonus. Going against Nightmare, wait for his confidence. All stop, he's an 8-6, same as Chakra. There is very little scarier than a furious 10-10 train coming right at you, when there's nothing you can do about it. What's more, you can use him as an extremely painful bluff against your opponent. Wait for confidence, then lay him down with 18 attack. Opponents will be forced to not only pill over him, unlikely to just barely do so, since he is a monster, but then they activate the frozen bonus for your next card. They're down a few pills, and going against a card with +2 power and damage. It doesn't get much better than that. Aaron is strong in any condition, and as such, can be used to counter almost any card thrown at him. Next, let's take a look at his cost. So Aaron is currently selling for around 5 to 6k on the market, and is worth far more than this price may lead you to believe. For what he offers, I'd price him at 12k easily by today's standards. Brock and Rad both sell for 12k, and Thorpa and Aya sell for 6 to 7k. There's just no love for the uncommon Bear Rider. So buy him up now while his prices are still low. Let's take a look at the cards that counter Aaron well. Actually, there are a few cards that do counter Aaron easily, because Aaron has 2 very different forms that he can use. For example, here we see Rolf can beat Aaron rather easily on confidence rounds. However, Rolf's the one at a disadvantage on revenge rounds. This case is the same for the majority of cards in UR, able to handle one, but not both, of Aaron's forms. Those that can are generally cards with high enough power manipulation to bring him down under them on revenge rounds, while still retaining enough power or attack manipulation to block Aaron on confidence rounds. I'm looking at you, Ong, Faye, Asgroth, and Earl, so watch out for these cards. Next, let's take a look at the Clan 2-hit KOs. Confident Aaron can KO with 8 confident frozen cards normally. Aya, Brock, Eleanor, Rad, Ruru, Tsuka, Anuka, and Stooge. Additionally, he can KO with 10 more Furied confident cards. Arlene, Aliska, Kalindra CR, Loki, Mahimata, Mikal, Rahampa, Stampa, Thorpa, and Timpa. That's 18 of the 32 cards in the clan, or just over half. Confident Aaron can KO with all 18 of those cards used on a revenge round without Fury, and also Hakunak, because his ability requires revenge. If the cards have revenge and fury, then Confident Aaron can KO with all 32 of the cards in his clan. If Confident Aaron furies, he can KO with 18 of the cards in his clan normally, and all of them if they have revenge or fury. This is obviously the same result as Aaron with revenge. And a revenge Aaron can KO with every other card in his clan if he furies, in any condition. Please note that for these to work, some cards will obviously need to be played first, or under certain conditions. Common sense is assumed in these cases. As for a half deck, Aaron would fit nicely into a half deck. Seeing as his ability and bonus are entirely disconnected, drawing him without another Frozen is no problem whatsoever. His stats back him up, and his confidence ability is still obtainable, getting you what you wanted in off rounds anyway. The biggest worry is drawing him without another Frozen, and facing SOA, eliminating his usefulness. However, there are few cards that would survive a half-deck draw like that, so I'd hardly consider that to be a deficiency. And while it's generally not a smart idea to splash a 5-star card, I guess that would be more of a cannonball than a splash, huh? I guess you definitely could splash him, again, since his ability and bonus are completely disconnected. Just make sure you splash him in T2 and not T1. 5 stars is a lot of stars to splash. Last up is game modes. In ELO, you need an above-average card that can specialize well and do enough damage to make them scary. Aaron fulfills all those requirements, and he is rock solid. Frozen isn't too popular in ELO though, but Aaron would be a great fit. The problem for Frozen is usually which cards to back him up with. As for tourney, most definitely. He works well because he'll definitely score you those extra KO points. However, once again, Frozen rarely helps you get into the top 10. Its 2-star and 3-star cards usually aren't quite good enough to make a low-star deck to thwart your opponents. You have to play really smart if you're trying to do that. But still, Aaron works great in tourney. As for Survivor, Aaron is also a great choice. However, Frozen again is not a popular clan. Why? Well, it takes an entire round for them to warm up, and you don't usually have that kind of time for a warm-up round when you're starting off down a few pills in Survivor. Finally, Duel. Kate just stares at Aaron and cries. Aaron is excellent for drawing pills out or getting a free 6 damage on round 1. By all means, bring Aaron along to that party. So for the final rating, Aaron is a beautifully drawn card that has excellent base stats in essentially 2 different playable forms. Aaron covers one of his clan's weaknesses and is a steal at his current price on the market. He is fun to play, but one problem he has is that his playstyle is sometimes not the form that you have for that round. Though even so, he'll still probably do well. He's also slightly less effective on round 1, so Aaron's not fully usable in all 4 rounds at maximum potential. Additionally, he is not a round-breaking card, easily dispatching opponents without a second thought. He's only the best overall brute force machine that you may ever see in Urban Rivals. So, his final rating, 9.5 out of 10. Give Aaron a shot, and don't rush playing him. Just let him sit in your hand, taunting your opponent. I promise you won't regret it. Well, this concludes the card review of Aaron. I hope you feel like you learned something and want to give him a shot now. He is my favorite card currently, after all. And don't forget to leave a comment below if there's anything you think I forgot to mention. And while you're there, why don't you let me know what you think of Aaron? If you liked this video, then feel free to like it, favorite it, and share it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more of my Urban Rivals videos. This is Xonia, and you've been in the zone.